We've got Baguio City Mayor Benji Magalong today, and who's been very vocal about corruption in government projects. Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Idol.
Good afternoon, Sir Ronald and Reggie. Good afternoon po sa ating mga viewers.
Di ba, Mayor, wala namang aamin na politiko na nag-insert sila?
Tama ho yan, kasi alam na alam ko, nandyan ho sa field na yan. Minsan ho, hindi ako maamin.
Yung patakan, di ba? Huwag na wag aamin.
Wag aamin. Pag nahuli, no, wag pa rin umamin.
Mayor,
Iba na yun.
so what do you think about this bill, Mayor, that Senate President Chis is looking to file, banning relatives of elected officials up to the 4th degree of consanguinity from serving as contractors or suppliers in any government projects? Is that enough?
Well, alam mo, Juan, Reggie, Sir Ronald and Ed, matagal na yan, dapat na. It is a long delayed na proposition and I hope na tuloy-tuloy na yan at may patupad na. Ang importante rito is the execution. Madali lang yung mga proposals pero yung approval and the execution ang importante doon.
Natuwa ba kayo, Mayor, na sinabi ni President Bongbong na mahiya naman kayo? No? Tingin nyo may mahiya?
Yeah. Alam mo, Sir Ronald, at natuwa ako nung nagsalita siya pero nung pinalakpakan doon ako nalungkot eh. Kasi isipin mo, yung mga mismong pasimuno dyan, yung mismong sila yung nakinabang ng husto. Isipin mo, sila yung pumapalakpak nung sinabihan sila ni Presidente na mahiya kayo. That is a classic and case of mockery and callousness. Manhid. Hindi na sila nahiya, hindi man lang sila. Dapat sana tumahimik na lang sila pero hindi. Pumalakpak sila. Ganun na lang sila kamanhid.
Mayor, can you back up a bit? Give us an idea kung
How it actually works.
Yeah, how it works and who is involved. We of course we always hear na mga kontratista are diluting the projects because there's not much money left dahil merong mga kickback and all that. But how far down and how far up yung mga kickbacks?
Ang nabalitaan
and
ko
by what degree?
Nabalitaan ko nga, Mayor, hindi ko na sasabihin kung kanino, ay 50 to 60% dun sa politiko, tapos 20% sa contractor. So practically, ghost na yung maiiwan. Matitira na lang ang mga 20%. Kaya nga mga kawayan yung nilalagay sa mga flood control eh. Kung nakita nyo yung mga nawasak na flood control, naasahan nila bakal, naging kawayan. So, bakwa lang naman yun. Balita lang.
Give us a snapshot, sir. Give us a snapshot from what you have observed. How does it look like? Who makes the money?
Well, it starts with the selection of the district engineer or yung regional engineer ng DPWH and who are actually selecting them. It's not the secretary of DPWH. These are the lawmakers. Kaya makikita mo kagad dyan, from the very start, may conspiracy na kagad dyan. So, here comes anong mga favorite na projects nila, especially yung mga nakalubog, flood control project, yung mga, dahil yung mga sheet piles, yung mga nilalagay sa ilalim, basta, o yung mga tatanggalin na mga silk, talagang nakalubog lahat yan. So, yan, pwede nilang paglaruan. Another is, let us say, ang depth nung sa technical report, ang depth dapat ng sheet piles is about 3 meters. Pwede lang gawin 6 meters yan. Kaya kita mo talaga, ang haba-haba niyan. So, ilan thousands and thousands of sheet piles. At bawat sheet piles talagang ang taas-taas ng cost niyan sa detailed unit price analysis. Same thing with asphalt overlay, yung mga road opening, yun ang mga gustong-gusto nilang mga project kasi talagang pwede nilang itaas yung cost niyan sa detailed unit price analysis. Same thing with the cat's eye, yung mga safety barriers, yung mga solar lights. Yan, paborito nila yung solar lights na yan. So, kung titingnan mo, based dun sa nireport sa akin ng isang contractor at mga suppliers at sa mga resources na rin natin, these are organic personnel. Usually, ang kinukuha ng mga politiko, mga lawmakers, is around 35 to 40. Yan. Standard yan. Lalo-lalo na kung kanila yung pork barrel fund.
Sir, 35 to 40%, you mean?
Yes, 35 to
Ang cost.
40. So sabihin na lang natin na average, sabihin na lang natin 25 to 40. So average na lang is 30 ang kinuha. Kasama na dyan yung, kukunin pa dyan yung VAT at yung insurance. So VAT is 7%. Tapos yung bond or insurance bond, pa yan, 1%. So 8% na yan, 38% na. Kukunin pa nung implementing agency, around 12%, 10 to 12%. Usually yan, nagre-range yan ng 10 to 15% yung implementing agency. So that is the DPWH. So 12% na lang, average. So nakita nyo na siguro, 38 plus 12, that's already
50.
50. 3%.
Plus
3% contingency fund. May contingency fund yan na 3% pa. Tapos may 2% pa yan na kalimutan ko na lang. So around 55% na natanggal. So ang naiwan na lang is 45%. Doon sa 45%, di pa factored in dyan yung profit ng contractor. Assuming na ang contractor may sense of nationalism or patriotism, kukuha lang siya ng 10%. Yung 10% na yan, hindi niya makukuha kagad, hindi niya ma-realize yung profit na yan. Because that will be the retention. So ibig sabihin, kung kinuha niya pa 45, kinuha niya yung 10% to 35% na lang naiwan for the project, actual cost na gagamitin niya. Actual fund pala for the project. Pero 10% nakukuha niya after 1 year. So most probably, kukuha pa siya dun sa 35%. Assuming nakukuha pa siya ng 35%. Ng 5% sa 35%. Naiwan na lang 30%. So in short, yun na lang naiwan sa project. 30% out of the 100%.
But Mayor, there is an open procurement system that the government uses. I'm just wondering, like, how do you get around that? Because there's fill gaps, right? So lahat technically ng projects should go through fill gaps. And before you even get to the bidding stage, marami din po yung dadaanan layers of approval, presumably to ensure transparency. So how do people get around that?
Well, tignan nyo na lang yung detailed unit price analysis. For example, yung rack netting, no? Because of yung technical working group ng DPWH comes up with the detailed unit price analysis, stipulating therein lahat ng mga gastos, no? Itemized na gastos sa rack netting project. Lalabas doon, 25,000 pesos per square meter. Pero ang totoong actual cost niyan, pag tinanong mo yung mga private contractors na talagang yan ang business nila, ang cost niyan is about 4,300 pesos. Kaya kita mo kagad yung difference.
Times 5.
25 to 4,300 pesos. That's about 21,000 pesos ang difference. Kaya kaya na nilang laruin yun. Kaya na nilang kumuha ng 40,000. Kasi approved naman yung detailed unit price analysis. May approval yan.
So you're saying, Mayor, may collusion not just among the contractors but as well with the bidding agency or the agency that bids it out.
It's structural. It's an highly organized crime.
Meron silang kwan dyan PhD.
Yes.
So are we also saying that even people who work in the procurement agencies are in on it, or they're not doing their jobs well, or pinapalagpas na lang nila
All of the above.
or all of the above?
Alam naman nila na ganun kalaki. Kasi simple lang titingnan mo yung detailed unit price analysis. Bakit 157,000 ito? Why don't you come up with a market survey? Malalaman mo kagad na ang taas-taas pala nito. A simple market survey, it will not even take you 30 minutes or 1 hour to talk to suppliers. Ako, katulad ako, I saw it. Bakit 157 itong detailed unit price na dupa ng solar lights? I spoke to a solar light supplier. Sabi ko, kindly ba i-detail mo nga sa akin yung parts ng isang poste? Yung semento, magkano yan? Yung base plate, magkano yan? Yung poste, magkano yan? Yung mga tornilyo, magkano lahat yan? At yung ilaw, magkano yan? Sabi niya, sir, it will range from 35 to 46,000. Meron na, sir, kaming profit doon. Can you just imagine yung 111,000 per post? And how many thousands and thousands of posts were erected prior to the election? Napakadami ho niya. And that's people's money. Bawat poste, nag-average sila ng kickback na about 111,000 pesos. Readily, pwede mong imbestigahan kagad yan. You can immediately launch an investigation. Doon sa lang sa dupa eh. In comparing it to a cost estimation derived from your market survey. Madali lang yan eh. Kaya lang, walang gumagawa. Bakit? Yun na yun. Your guess is as good as mine. Lahat sila nakinabang.
Mayor, sabi ni PBBM, paiimbestigahan niya sa DPWH.
Kaya nga eh.
Papa-audit niya itong mga flood control
para
projects, no? Anong tingin niyo dahil sa pagkakapaliwanag niyo, mga DPWH people ay involved din dito eh. So paano nila i-audit 'yan? Lalo na sabi niyo nga nakatago 'yan sa ilalim, no? Libo-libo 'yan. So optimistic ba kayo na ma-audit ng DPWH?
And specifically, he mentioned the regional project monitoring team. Sila ang mag-a-assess which ones of the flood control projects from the last 3 years either failed, did not get completed, or were ghost projects. Yung project team na to is under DPWH din, correct?
No, hindi po. Hindi po. Gusto ko lang po i-clarify. Meron ho tayong Regional Monitoring Office, Project Monitoring Office, na under the Regional Development Council. So meron ho yan, independent po yan. Although they can get personnel from the Department of Public Highways to join the inspection. Pero hindi pwedeng solely public DPWH lang magkakanda. Para mong sinabi yung criminal, imbestigahan niya yung krimen. Pero pag iniimbestigahan niya yung sarili niya, hindi naman pwede yun. Kailangan talaga independent body, a third party. And I believe kung yung Regional Development Council ang mag-initiate ng investigation through the Regional Project Monitoring Office, although the RPMO doesn't have the investigative capability, they can conduct a third-party audit. Pero they don't have the investigative capability. Hihingi sila sa NBI, pag meron sila nakita ng mga pan, o kaya sa PNP, pwede na sila humingi ng investigative na assistance.
But Mayor, are you optimistic about this investigation? I know pinalakpakan ng mga tao at may mga natuwa kasi those are the right words that people want to hear. But realistically ba? Are you optimistic na may pupuntahan ito?
Okay, sa akin ho, in fairness to the President, ako naman minsan critical ako. Usually critical ako. Pero in fairness to him, maganda yung intention. Pero hindi ba ako kayo nagtaka bakit pumalakpak sila? Kasi alam nilang mahirapan silang matukoy eh. Kasi wala silang pinirmahan. Wala naman silang pinirmahan. Sila yung pinakamalaking porsyento dyan. Pero wala silang pinipirmahan. Dahil yun ang arrangement eh. Sindikato eh. Organized crime nga eh. Tatanggapin nila yung advance na 20%. Hintayin pa nila yung remaining na 15 to 20%. Wala silang pipirman, tatanggap lang sila ng pera. Kaya anong ebidensya mo doon? Magsasalita yung contractor. Definitely hindi magsasalita yung district engineer kasi bagman yun eh. Kaya yung contractor, kung willing yung contractor na mag-execute ng affidavit, and again, assuming na nag-execute siya ng affidavit, I've been the head of CIDG, ano yung corroborative evidence naman? Kailangan din yan. Kaya mahirap, kaya pumapalakpak sila dahil alam nilang mahirapan siguro silang ipinpoint eh. Ganun na lang. Kaya nga sabi ko, height of mockery and callousness yung nakita ko doon kahapon.
It will be hard to pin down to the lawmakers or government officials. It will be hard to connect it to the specific government official.
You are absolutely right, Reggie. One thing about the congressmen, they share best practices, especially how to evade the law.
May doctorate.
Meron silang some of them are already graduate, doctorate degree dyan.
Mayor, kayo po dating CIDG chief. Kung kayo imbisigan nyo to, paano nyo gagawin? At paano nyo pa-prosecute? If you had free reign.
First is you have to secure all the pieces of evidence, especially the documents. Ganon din ang ginawa. When I was in charge of the investigation ng mga NIA projects, the first thing that we did was to secure all the documents regarding a project. Isa-isa namin pinag-aralan lahat yun. Doon namin nakita na ang dami palang ghost projects dyan sa NIA. And to think na we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg.
The irrigation.
Irrigation.
Yeah, National Irrigation Administration. For
Yan,
the viewers.
yan, you have to exploit the documents. Document exploitation ang tawag doon sa investigation.
Pero sir, yung mahirap dito, sabi nga ninyo, wala namang pinirmahan yung mga pinakamalaking kinita. So, how do you proceed from there?
Kailangan talaga kumbinsihin yung mga contractors to testify.
Testigo.
Yes, talagang testimony. And you have to, reduce it into writing. Affidavit. Kailangan mo yung affidavit.
And threaten them na sila maipit.
Kailangan lang talaga a set of pieces of evidence that would, sabi natin, that would reasonably indicate that there's a collusion, conspiracy. Yun na importante dito.
There are some people who say they feel like corruption has gotten worse under this administration. Ikaw, Mayor, you've been looking at corruption in government projects for a long time. What do you think?
It's something beyond one's imagination. Yun ang description sa akin ng someone in government. Someone who is very quite familiar with the dynamics of corruption. Sila mismo nagsasabing kakaiba. Even I've been invited sa iba-ibang mga events as a resource person by several reputable na mga organizations, business organizations. And they themselves mention na kakaiba ang level ng corruption na yun. Even people inside Congress na kakilala ko, they are telling me na kakaiba, sir, ang level ng corruption niya.
Sorry, sir. Let me just pivot quickly kasi we have to ask you about the landslides after the last, the very stormy week we had last week. Kamusta na po yung situation sa Baguio? And any updates on that?
Well, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po yung pag-ulan dito. Ngayon nga, napakalakas na uli ng ulan. This is brought about by the monsoon rains and yung habagat na tawag natin. And we have already counted about 71 landslides since the time na nag-umpisa yung Crising, Dante, Emong, at itong mga habagat na ito. At we're still counting. Marami pa. Araw-araw, nagkakaroon kami ng soil erosion dito sa syudad ng Baguio.
May nakukuha ba kayo, Mayor, para dyan sa tulong sa landslide? Halimbawa, mismo Baguio, binabaha, di ba? Nakita ko minsan yung tawag dito, yung lake sa Baguio na umapaw, no? Meron din ba kayong mga flood control projects diyan na effective?
Wala ho kaming mga flood control projects dito. Except for the drainage system na most of the time po, these are funded by the local government units. I've been requesting flood control projects from DPWH, pero wala pong kaming massive na flood control projects. Mas gusto ho nila yung asphalt overlay, mas gusto ho nila yung road projects, road widening,
solar.
Mas gusto ho nila yung cat's eye at yung mga solar lights.
So you're
mas
saying
gusto nila yung road opening.
So you're saying hindi po kayo nabibigyan ng budget?
Ang hirap pong makakuha. Alam mo, swerte na lang na nakakakuha kami ng budget sa mga senators. Swerte na lang. Sa senators kami nakakakuha ng budget namin. Ng dagdag na budget. Of course, we have the NTAs, pero yung nakakakuha ka ng, let us say, 1 billion, 2 billion para sa infrastruktura that will be managed by the local government, wala po yan. Wala kami nakukuha dyan. Talagang we have to rely on our own budget and at the same time help from the senators. Yung DPWH dito, yung district engineer, meron naman silang sariling mga project dito na usually hindi naman coordinated sa amin, kanya-kanya sila. Gumagawa sila ng mga project na for some reason nagugulat na lang kami, walang konsultasyon sa amin, walang public consultation. Ang kausap lang nila yung congressman nila, ganun lang po yung nangyayari. Pero mababago siguro ho yan pag ngayon ho na ang aming congressman si Mayor Dumogan na, former Mayor Dumogan. Yan.
Mayor, may mga proposal ngayon sa Congress at saka sa Senate para gawing open yung BICAM, no? Maging participative yung budget process. Tingin nyo, this will make a significant difference dito sa usapin ng corruption?
Yes, it will be a big difference, Sir Ronald. Unang-una, that is actually one of our advocacy sa ANIM at sa Mayors for Good Governance. Dahil if you look, we have studied extensively yung 2025 GAA, no? And we saw how it was mangled by Congress, no? By the small BICAM, no? Kayo na lang bahala mag-isip po kung sino yung member ng small BICAM. It was mangled. Kaya nga yung word namin, it was manipulated, it was disfigured, it was not only mishandled.
Yeah.
Ganun ho, katindi yung ginawa ho nila yan. And that's the reason why one of our advocacy is a full transparent BICAM meeting. Na dapat talagang open to the public para makirinig natin, pakita natin ano yung mga decisions nila dyan sa BICAM. Kasi ngayon puro closed door lang. At alam nyo ba na hindi basta-basta pwedeng makapasok doon sa BICAM?
Oo. That's something that we're also pushing for, Mayor, kasi at some point the media has to leave the room, diba? So we're also pushing for full BICAM. But we're gonna have to leave that there for now kasi sorry, sir, we've run out of time. But thank you so much for talking to us. We'll have you another time again to come back.
Isang maliit lang na tanong?
Hindi na pwede, sorry.
May binanggit kasi
sinabihan na ako na overtime. So sorry, sir,
Mayor.
overtime na daw tayo according to my producer in my ear.
Hindi, malagay yun yung anim
Thank you for talking to us, Baguio City Mayor Benji Magalo.